Hello, hello. We are live. Just waiting on our wonderful guest Leanne to log in. I'm using a different program today because last time I found out that Facebook doesn't allow you to invite people. So the one I'm using is called Streamyard. So if you're going to be doing Facebook Lives, have a look at it. There's a free version, which I'm starting out with, and you can actually schedule it. So you saw the post in the group that it says that, you can actually get a reminder for the call, and it just allows you to share with other people whilst on Facebook, which is pretty awesome. And there are other, you can do it with YouTube as well. I'm not sure what other programs, but wonderful. And I can see Leanne is here now.
Hello.
Wonderful, welcome.
Hello.
Just make sure your mic. Yes, it is.
Can you hear me? Yep, all good.
And very well. Well, welcome to Conversations, Leanne.
Thank you. I didn't dress up for you much, but I did think it was important.
I think all I've lived in is sports clothes for the whole week I've been home with the kids.
I know. Active wear is cool, right?
It is awesome. It is awesome. I'm just making sure everything's coming on the phone okay. Wow, welcome, Christy. Thanks for popping on. And Streamyard is if you want to make a comment, you just need to press the link that's up in the description that allows Streamyard to know your details, and then it puts up your name. If you haven't registered, it just will show Facebook users. So, I was just telling everyone about Streamyard and what a great program it is, that we can use it to share presentations like this now that Facebook's changed their mode, which is fabulous. Facebook always changing the goalposts. But we're very grateful for them. We're all at home. We're wanting to connect with people, so here we are. So this is Conscious Conversations, really, isn't it? And we're here with Leanne Vandeligt. Is it Vandeligt or Vandeligt, or how are you pronouncing?
The skip way would be Vandeligt, and I think the Dutch way, which I'm Australian, but Jace is Dutch, so Vandeligt, I think is how they say it. Yeah, and everyone wants to put an R and a H. I laughed at that when you said that.
Yeah, my fingers go trigger. Yes, absolutely. Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome, Leanne, and thank you for popping on. And the whole idea about the conversation series is to meet mums who are working from home or working in a business. It doesn't have to be from home, juggling family as well as business, and how they look after themselves, how they started, what tools they have in place. And I know that someone watching is going to gain something that they can walk away and go, oh, I can do that, or I didn't think of that. So that's what I wanted for this series, is to know that we're not alone. We know we're not alone, but some days we feel like it, and more so now than ever, because we are so isolated, that wonderful word. And then the other part of what I really wanted to introduce was be able to then have mums come on and use this platform to share their brilliance, to go, okay, well, here's my gift. I hope that can help someone. So that's what the Teachable Moments is all about. So we're going to get started then, and I get to grill you.
That's all right.
Yeah. So tell me about how you started into a business in general.
How do I start? Yep. I've always been in fitness part-time, so I was always in IT, doing sales, traveling, all that kind of stuff when I was younger. I was an older mum, so I didn't get married and had kids till I was about 35 to 39, sort of. My last one was 39. So I've got two teen boys now. And I moved interstate for work. I come back, and although I've always had fitness in the side, I wasn't doing it as a full-time thing. I was teaching aerobics for a very long time, until I was sort of a bit older and went, what the hell am I doing this for? It's so hard. But then I started working part-time. So I came back and I was on maternity leave. And so my job, even though I moved back to Melbourne from Sydney, they didn't have to give me work. So I started back at Fernwood, just working a few hours a week, just doing something, right? Just doing something to contribute. And then we moved into this really great house that had a double garage. And so my husband decked it out, and we made that a studio, because I was I was actually 7 months pregnant when I was still at Fernwood on the second baby, and I thought, this is just stupid. This is ridiculous. And it wasn't worth trying to pay a babysitter either. when you've got 2 children, and it was just silly. The whole thing was silly. So I started working from home, just doing PT, and I had a studio, which I still have now, but I'm out at Little River, which is like 11 acres, so it's rural.
Yeah.
So lucky for Zoom at the moment, I can tell you that's a great thing, training from Zoom. So I kind of just went that way because that's the best way to look after my family. I could work in the studio and I still had the kids with me, and I had a babysitter that would look after them inside, and then mums would bring, it made sense that mums bring their kids, and then the poor babysitter had lots of kids inside. Wasn't ideal, but it's the only way we could train and stay sane was to have the babysitter. Yeah, it was fabulous because the kids were safe, they were happy, the mums were happy, and it just was great. So I did that for about 10 years until I moved here, and now it's funny how things just flow, and this was what I was meant to be doing now. I thought that was then. I'm like 53, in a couple of weeks, and that doesn't, I don't need to work that hard doing that kind of training with lots of little kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's funny how things just molded into where you keep growing and learning as you go. And I still train mums with kids and they bring their children here, but it's not my main focus now. So, and I did more upskilling and training to get myself to another, to be able to help more and more holistically in a bigger way.
That's it. And so tell us more about that holistic approach now, that what your business encompasses now.
Yeah. So I do a lot of coaching now, thankfully, over the phone. That's the good thing about the coaching thing. But I'll look at your day, I'll look at your week, I'll look at the struggles that you're having. And I find that weight is the symptom of a bigger problem. So it's actually not the cause at all, right? And so everyone's so focused on their weight, but not their habits and their health. But I'm more interested in the mindset of what is actually happening here. What is stopping you? Typically, it actually comes down to self-value. Actually, a lot of the time, self-worth, self-value, it's all one big package. So if you're not taking care of yourself, I look at why. So we go through, when I'm coaching, it's kind of like looking at your self-care, your overwhelm. When I say holistic, it's your food, your exercise, but really the daily health as well. So breaking it down into something that you can do. Because I've coached a lot of mums that are single mums as well. They're working 5 days a week. They want to be healthy. So we look at what can we do, where can we fit health in your day, and I customize it to you. So I think that is where the secret lies, is not saying, here, do this program. It's, okay, what are you struggling with? What can we tweak? What can we do differently? How can I help you feel good? Yeah. So, and that's probably the premise. If you're not feeling good, so my belief is if you're feeling happy, you're more likely to do what's got to be done. So you're more motivated to do the exercise. You are more likely to give yourself nice meals and take care of yourself and go to bed early. If you're not happy in general, if there's shit going down everywhere, you're not going to do that stuff. Like you can't even think of doing one more thing, right? It's just, so it's about breaking it down so that we strip out the crap and the BS and just stick with what you can do, within your restraints of what's happening. Does that make sense? That's all very confusing.
It really does, and especially more now than ever. And how do you find, I suppose I'm looking at the balance side of it as well, how, being so invested in your clients, having it with your own family, is there any mum guilt there that, okay, am I actually putting this back into my life? And then if someone's having an issue, just being able to work with them in a way that shows what you've done. Is that how you incorporate it?
So connecting back to how I'm doing it.
Just seeing, is it all, because we all look for external factors as well, but just how you bring yourself into that role. I don't know, the words aren't flowing for that.
I think something I learned recently, and like I said, I'm nearly 50 something now, and I'm like, why didn't I know this? Right? So when the kids were little, I didn't know anything about self-care or mindset, which seems ludicrous considering I was teaching women how to feel healthy, right? But I was just surviving. That's pretty much all I was doing, is getting by. I didn't have that ability. So probably in the last 3 or 4 years, I've really focused on mindset, really, on what I'm struggling with. And sometimes I didn't realise that I was struggling that much, or that I did feel that low in my confidence, or I did, that I wasn't happy. It's funny, it's just until you give yourself that space to go, I don't know what I want. I think I'm really unhappy. I think I need something else. And it's not food and it's not coffee. Like I need, I think it's finding ways to nurture yourself and being honest with yourself as to what you actually need right now. And I think, and so I'm learning to connect back and give myself the space to work it out, rather than, I think I was disconnecting myself from the feelings of everything.
Yeah,
pretty much, because I've got 2 boys that are Aspie, and when we moved here, we were going through some tough times before we moved, and then when we moved here, it was even harder in some ways. But I learned a lot about anxiety and about helping them, and about being calm and finding ways to find space, because you can't, the old saying, you can't, what is it? You can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah, so I've learned a lot. I've probably learned more in the last 4 or 5 years than I've, learned my whole life, about being more grounded and centered and giving back to me. Not that I always do, but I know that that's the answer. That's how it works. Yeah.
And you answered the question that didn't come out clearly, beautifully. Thank you.
Oh, that's good.
It's all about being confident and how we deal with that, and especially in an industry that is just so mammoth to a lot of us, which is weight and image and health and balance. So absolutely, and that's good to hear you're putting it into place as well.
Yeah, and things like, I found the easiest way for balance is really looking at your day. So if I was coaching you, I would look, and you're probably very organised, which I'm not, right? So I would we would look at your day and go, well, let's look at what you're doing at these times. If you're getting up and jumping on Facebook straight away, obviously that's a no-no. That's, you don't want to let anything in that shouldn't be there before you've actually found, your groove for the day and you've planned your day and you're working out what you're doing. But also setting it out in your day, like the time. So a coach helped me work out, right, the kids are, 7 till 8 or 9 in my case. It's about that you're working for that. Then you'll do your exercise. I'll walk the dog, or I'll do the school drop-off, then walk the dog with me in school drop-off, then go home. So I try to connect it or bundle it in so that it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think finding space and balance is about just creating that space and going, right, well, between 10 and 1, I'm going to do my work, and then I'm going to stop, have a break, I don't know, go for a walk, do a read, catch up on something else, maybe some housework somewhere. I'm not inspired by housework at all, or cooking or cleaning, right? But I know we have to do it. So there's got to be a time in there where you're getting meals ready, and and I used to work at night as well, so I always had to have the meals prepped during the day, or at least be organised, ready, so they would cooked, done, whether it be a slow cooker, because that's the best frigging thing in the world. Slow cooker. Yeah, love the slow cooker. So that I could go by 5 to the gym. So I had to do that. I'm not very organised, but I realised that I needed some structure. So I think if you can structure your day, but what I'm finding is most women there's no self-care in there. There is no exercise. There is no time out in their day.
And it just shows how much healthy habits, it's great to have them and it's great to go through it with someone, but it's a discipline to put it in place.
Yeah, and it has to make sense.
Change a whole day for you, not only the child. And
it has to make sense to you. It has to make sense to you, because I know with when you've got little kids, you're doing kinder drop-offs and runs. You've only got 2 hours between the drop-off and the pick-up, and you've got to run again. So you never got anything done, or you race home, put something, washing on, then you're out the door again. So, yeah, it's got to make sense to you as to what. It's the same with I love morning routines. Not that I'm very good at it, but I'm trying to get that happening. And it has to make sense to you, not me. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Working with the routine of the family and also how you can include food sometimes. It's using what you've got, isn't it? And I know that there's going to be a lot of increase in programs coming out on doing things at home, and we've even seen some meme kind of videos with families running around the house together and making it fun, because I think so much in this day we forget about the fun a lot of times. We get so serious in achieving, I've got to grow my business, I need to get clients, this and this, that we don't actually enjoy it. Like, we're in business, yay, but I'm having fun. Is it done with ease as well? Because really,
and I get obsessed. So if you're doing something, I think we probably all do, where we get quite distracted from everything else, disconnected and obsessed with getting that thing done, and you're just not a very nice person. Like, it's not nice. Like, so I've had to pull back from that too and block it, so that I'm working on this thing for this time. Then I can do the other things where I would and that's where I got my own coach as well, where I was having trouble structuring my day because I was ignoring what was important, like the housework is important, there are things that are important that have to be done. But I would ignore that, but then that would cause anxiety because you're actually behind all the time. Yeah, you're always playing catch up.
I often ask myself now if I'm getting getting overwhelmed, or I do put the house second or third or fourth. And in a way, it's just like, well, hold on, this is a business too, because your life is your business is your life. So, it's not just you have to be in the business, because would I hire myself? If I look around the house, would I hire myself? Yeah. And some days I look and go, no, I probably wouldn't today. And others, no, I've caught up. This is awesome. I'm feeling on top of it. But when we do little things, it's like teaching the kids. It's like, if you pick up what you just dropped and dealt with it then, you wouldn't have to come back and do catch up.
Yeah, and no one else is going to do that work. It's still waiting, and no one's going to do it for you. It's still there. So what you do is overload yourself, and that's where the overwhelm comes from too. I'm not particularly a perfectionist, but if you were, that's even worse, because you are you're actually overloading, and then you want everything to be perfect, but it's overloading you, and you're overwhelmed. It's this silly thing that we do. So
and just little bits at a time, even if it can't be all done. One, you're decluttering your mind, which then declutters your business with it, which then opens receiving doors, doesn't it? So
it's space. I think it's space. If you can give, because if you're a creator too, if you need clarity for creating, and you need calm for creating and all that, and you'll know, because if you're in the shower, ideas come to you. If you're washing the dishes, things come to you. Like, it's the quiet time when the creativity comes and the ideas come. But if you've crowded it with other stuff, you know, everyone would know that if they're in business and they're been juggling everything, there is no time for thinking. That's not negative. That's positive. Yeah.
No, I actually have a notepad in the kitchen or places when I'm doing something, and I'll be listening to a podcast, or if I'm walking. And I'll just or voice record it. If I'm out on a walk and I'm listening to something and I've got an idea, I'll voice record it and deal with it when I get home. It may not make sense when I get home, but it still goes into the list of ideas because it's out of my head now, ready for more creations to come. And it might make sense again with something else, or it might be for someone else. It might be, I connected with that person. This would be great for them. Yeah.
I guess the other important tip or thing I've learned too recently is focus on one thing. Because we do have lots of ideas and things. You could go, you sort of start something, go off on a tangent on something else, and then you really didn't do what you were supposed to do. Like, it's one of the things that I'm trying to do is just focus on one thing, and with the self-care, that kind of allows that as well. So if you're actually going to make that space during the day where you sit down, have a cuppa, put some thoughts together, whether it be journaling, whether it be listening to a podcast, whether it be making some notes, or if you don't make that space, I think that's really, really important, because otherwise you will go off on tangents and you will do things that you're not meant to be doing.
But that's
so it's better to focus on one thing, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just, as something will always come up, but it's like attracting what you want. So if you're going to attract busy, if you're going to be busy and always flipping from one thing to the other, you're going to attract more of it, aren't you? And if you take the space, you'll attract the time each day to be able to sit down and have that 10, 15 minutes just to regroup. Or whatever it is. And I know that if I'm getting, things are just getting a bit crazy with the kids, I'll actually flip it around and go, okay, well, where am I being crazy? Because I haven't finished a job. I flipped to the next one. I went, okay, they're just mimicking me. So how many of our clients are mimicking us as well? And how can we use that in our own business development? So when you started your business, Leanne, how did you go with funding? Because I know a lot of mums in business, they've either not got an income coming in, or some might be working like you were and want to be transitioning out. How did you fund your business to start?
Well, we were fortunate. We had sold a property and moved. So I had property, my husband had property. We sold it. We bought one property together where we decided to live, and that's where we set up the gym. And so from that, my husband said, you can have 10 grand. We're going to go and set it all up. My biggest mistake was buying brand new stuff because I had no idea what I needed. I had no idea about running a business. I have no business acumen at all, right? I'm more a people person. I love the fun stuff and the sharing and caring. I'm no good with business stuff, right? So that's probably a mistake. Like I didn't need to have the best stuff or the most, I think that was a mistake. But the funding came from that, where he said, well, you've got this much money, this is all you're going to get. and we spent it on, the equipment, the flooring. Mind you, that was a good investment because it lasted me 10 years of being able to work. Like that was, that was a great decision. Yeah. And I've still got some of that equipment even 10 years on. That hasn't missed a beat. So in saying that, the only thing, there was no Facebook back then. So I didn't know anything about the marketing side either, apart from, putting posters up at your local shops. I ran classes for mums, boxing classes for mums. So that was the only thing. If you had Facebook, oh my God, that would have been, it would have been a lot easier. But back then there was no Facebook. So if you're old like me, you might remember that.
Very much so. Yeah. Used to be fax, paper advertising, and networking. Yeah. And isn't it interesting coming all the way back around to networking? We're being face to face with people a lot more.
Playgroups, Kinder. But I was also at a good time where we were at playgroups and Kinder, and so it was kind of that time of life where it was fun and there was a lot of mums. So it was, I was able to do that in a fortunate time. Probably 10 years after that, every man and their dog had a group at the park or a gym around the corner. Like everyone was doing that. They were advertising on Facebook. So that's what I mean about the flow. It's funny how we moved out here at the right time when it wasn't growing. I didn't know how to grow that, and I probably had run its course at that time.
You wouldn't have created the business if you hadn't have sold and moved, or would it have?
I did a bit of mobile. I probably would have done something because I was trying to avoid going back into call centers and corporate work, no matter what it took. It just wasn't. Even now, I've been avoiding that for a long time. I may have to do that for a little bit of income. I've got my husband who looks after me, but he's sick of spotting me, right? He's spotted me for the business for a long time too, and so I don't want to do that because that's also a struggle where you don't want to ask for money for any reason at all off your husband for any, if you can help that, you don't want to go down that path.
No, but interesting. We've got the same situation in my family as well because my husband's it's his business. And it doesn't, how often in the real world do businesses fund other, businesses that aren't directly related? And it's treating it like a business, isn't it? It's like, okay, and initially when you start, it's like, I'll do what I need to do to get out of being in that environment, and in alignment, something showed up. You moved, you sold, you were able to fund it.
Yeah.
But now with this economic time, physical time, everything, it's like, okay, well then what do you need to be and do then to be the future that you want to achieve? So with that in mind, what is your vision now? What have you got some things that you really feel you could put in place?
Yeah, look, I'm more determined than ever, actually. I'm not sure why that is. It's one of those things that either you've gone too far and you can't go back, or I just have, it's just what, you know, when you can't not do it. You can't not preach. Like I've been always one of those weird, it makes me laugh now because, of course, everyone's worried about prevention. It's quite on trend to work out at home. You know, you can't get gym home equipment, which is unheard of right at the moment. It's insane, right? People are buying home equipment. It's like, oh my God, it's a dream come true. We're working at home. It's a dream come true. But I was going to say about that point is, yeah, so I was always that weird friend that loved exercise or that was always touting good health and prevention, all that. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm shining. Like, it's like my time, you know. It's bizarre. Like, it's now popular to do this. So I've been using, what I did, I've created a membership site to try and bundle what I do to streamline my time and effort, I suppose. Yeah. Because I give a lot of free, like I'm very good at free. I give a lot of free stuff just because I want to. But yeah, there's probably, I need to go that level where, okay, if you want all this kind of help, it's VIP or it's membership. There's the two streams that you could go, and the membership site will give you everything you need, but it'll be at an affordable price of coaching instead of if you don't want VIP. So I'm just trying to streamline where I put my efforts rather than spreading myself everywhere and not actually getting anywhere doing that by being helpful. I'm very helpful. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of us are. We give, but that shows you know you've looked at what you've got and how can I move into the future with this and make it profitable. And it is a choice to create the business or to just let it go as it is. And I think that's really exciting. And you seem to have been ahead of the ball game each time too. That you've already done.
I wouldn't have thought so, but yes, apparently I am. So I've always done online home videos. So I've got a YouTube channel for that, but I've also now started my online classes via Zoom, and I can see everyone scrambling, all the trainers trying to work this out as to how they're going to do this and how they're going to work online. And I'm like, and I thought I was a bit daggy, and now all of a sudden I'm going, wow, okay, I actually know what I'm doing. Like, that's bizarre.
That's it. You've got the runs on the board, and you're just so. It's like a lot of people. I'm wondering how many people are going to step up in this time and use it to be of service in some way. So when it's finished, they can just step into the next stage where you're doing that now, which is fantastic, and doing it with ease by the sounds of it. So
a bit of bravery, but putting yourself out there. But it's do or die, isn't it? It's either shine now or, like you said, just let it go. Yeah. Do the best I can now to help people, or don't.
Well, we're mums. We're courageous. We get in and we do things. So let's just keep that going. Yeah. That's it. So if you could let our mums know one thing that, would be awesome though. So what is a skill that they should learn and why is that important? Is there something that you could pull out of your toolbox and go, look, this is going to help you get through the day, or this is going to help you with your mindset, because we have talked about mindset a bit.
I think, creating the space, but I think working on, there's so many things there, but you want to make it really, really simple. I would just say, what can you do? So if it's drinking more water, if it's going to bed 10 minutes earlier or reading that book, a chapter before you get to bed, rather than thinking I'm too busy, I think it comes back to us not thinking we're deserving of it maybe, or like even investing in yourself. It takes a bit of courage to back yourself, invest in yourself. No, I think just listening to yourself, giving yourself that time and trusting your instincts. Like if something doesn't, I've always worked on the premise too with clients, especially with dieting and all that kind of stuff. If it's negative, if it makes you feel shit, don't do it. Like, it's not right for you. It won't last. It's not sustainable, and it's not going to work long term. So if you're doing something that isn't right, it isn't making you feel good, then it can't be right, can it?
Yeah. No.
I think that's probably it. Like, that would be the only rule, I reckon.
That's a great tip, isn't it? If it doesn't feel good, it can't be right.
No, if it's negative, if you're depriving yourself, restricting yourself, you're paying out on yourself because you had a bit of cake, whatever it is, that can't be the right way. If you feeling poorly about yourself, I think. Yeah.
And it's a reminder just to stop and make a choice. And as you said, listen to yourself as well. But it's
trust your instincts. Don't follow the diet plan. Trust your instincts. Your body knows what to do. It's going to tell you when you need to eat. It's going to tell you when you're full. It's only when you've mucked that up, the balance of the hormones, that it stops doing that. So once you go back into balance, your body, and again, it comes back to being happy too. If you're happy, your body's going to function well.
Yeah.
It's going to do what it's supposed to do. It's because we're doing all these extra things that it's not. The stress alone is the thing that will muck everything up. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So if you with your journey with over 30 years of fitness and now with weight loss and the wonderful things you get from all of that together with hormones and less stress and overwhelm, have you had a mentor during that time? Has there been someone who's really impacted you?
I've had a few coaches that have helped guide me because I didn't realize that my own confidence was so low. Like when I'd gone through a lot of trouble with the kids, because you're just battling every day, and I didn't know a lot about mindset at that point. I'd met a couple of coaches that I'd gone and I'd invested in myself, and I did have to, ask for money, because I wasn't working right when we moved out here into the farm. I wasn't working, so I did ask and say, I had to actually say, I need this. I need help. I didn't realize I was so low on confidence, and so I didn't realize I was feeling so bad at that point, because I'd put all my energy into fighting with, getting the kids sorted with their Asperger's and everything else, appointment after appointment, and psychologists, all the things that you need to do, as well as manage their energies. Because they were 9, I think 9 was the first one, and then probably about the same age for the second one too. So we didn't realise at the time, which is anyway, that's another story. But so I think it was coming to a realisation that I actually did need some help, and I probably needed help when the kids were younger too, but I didn't know.
No,
I must have realised that I needed probably help back then too. But anyway, so when I got a bit more space, I realised that I was really bad on confidence, low on confidence. So I got some help with that, with a mindset coach. I've had probably 3 coaches over time, because of course you keep growing, and then you want to learn more, and then you want to do better, and you just keep growing and growing. And for me to coach others, as you would know, Kate, if you're going to coach others, you actually have to know, you have to have been there. You have to actually have grown yourself and learn how to do that to be able to help others in the first place, I think. I mean, I was thinking about that because I saw your questions that you gave me prior, and I didn't have one person that I really looked up to, but I love Lady Gaga. Like, I look at people like that, and I look at their strength and what they're doing in the world, and what their influence is, and Oprah, and I look at the stronger women that are absolutely leading the world. That's my inspiration. I look at those women and think they're awesome. But I have had personal coaching, even just recently, on energy, and that's another thing I just realised recently, that everything is energy. So if I'm not selling, if I'm not showing up for my clients well, or my confidence is low, or whatever it is, it turns out that it's my energy that's driving that. So I'm responsible. So I recently learned that everything I'm doing is actually my fault. So I thought that was enlightening. I was like, oh my God. And so when I worked on my energy and giving back to myself, self-care, patience, kindness, all that stuff, your energy lifts and your confidence lifts, everything lifts. And guess what? Your business lives.
Absolutely. It's all connected.
You can't give. You can't give from a place of nothing. People, you would read it. You would read it and go, there's something not quite right about that trainer or that girl. I don't think she's going to be able to give me what I want. So I had to really look at that, and I've recently realised that that's a massive thing that I probably should have known a lot earlier.
But the journey has led you there to then take it on board at this time. And
in the
holistic approach that you've got. Yeah.
Well, like you said, opening up, being available for more opportunities or more, like the universe coming, giving you what you need, kind of thing, being available for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were saying before, everything is energy, and you often feel it when you go into a shop, or when you read a website, or when you hear someone on video, you can feel where they're at. You may not. Some people may not, like you're saying, may not understand it, but you get an inkling, and it's trusting that. It's trusting the whisper that comes through, and go, okay, is this right? And that's what I ask. Ask the question: Is this right? Am I meant to be watching this now? Is this who I need to connect with? And what is the next step? What is this going to help me move forward with? Just asking questions all the time, and letting the answers come to you instead of controlling it, because that's how we've gotten to where we are now.
If you're listening, you might have gone the wrong direction because you weren't listening. But it's the same with finding yourself, or finding coaches, or finding clients. The funny thing is the energy connected beforehand, if that makes sense. So you're drawn to that person. It's purely the energy.
Absolutely. I'm talking the same
language. I didn't know that. I was like, oh God, I could have helped that a long time ago. I was just like most of us, we're just trying to juggle too many things, and we don't have that spare time to focus on what we need and ourselves.
Yeah. Well, perfect time for you going into an online membership as well.
And having
that energy.
Can awesome. Only try these things.
Well, and that's it. And giving it our all. And we're not in the era where if you try something, you have to stick with it. That's been and gone. We're not now. Some people may still have that judgment, but look, if it works, great. If it doesn't, what's next? What else can I do to create more? And open the possibilities.
Fail fast. That's what they say. Fail fast. I've done plenty of that.
That's it. Because if we aren't willing to fail, we actually close that receiving door. We're not willing to try something that opens.
That's true. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today. Can you? I know we had a tip before, but if you could just leave something with us at the end. What's something else that think? Oh, I just need to mention that. What's a great, maybe a habit that?
Yeah, I would say. Just moving your body. I mean, I know we're at a limited point in time with I'm fortunate I've got 11 acres. It doesn't feel like isolation, but if you were at home and you had a little backyard with 3 kids, I think that would certainly feel like you've struggling a bit. But there's plenty you can do, and I think if you've got 5 minutes, you've got 5 minutes. If you've got 10 minutes, you've got 10 minutes. And kids love it, right? So you'll know yourself. If you get down on the floor to do any kind of anything, they are on top of you. They are everywhere, and they love it. So often when mums have trained with kids, the kids have done the same thing. So if the mums are doing squats and push-ups, you'll find the kids are doing squats and push-ups. They will do whatever you do. And I think not making it too rigid. So yes, we might have had an hour in the gym before when we were single, and I think a lot of people struggle with that transition to, well, now I need an hour in the gym. Well, you don't. You actually just need 5 minutes a day of something. Anything will do. 10 minutes. Go for a walk around the block. walk after drop off, grab a coffee, walk back to the car, whatever I think it's making it work somehow for you would be one of the biggest things. As far as a practical point, just it doesn't have to be much, and I think less is more. If you're really, really crazy busy, the last thing you need is a boot camp. When your hormones are up here and you're stressed out of your brain already, the last thing you need is thrashing your body, and that also impedes weight loss, right? So if you've really got to do, I think less is more, and just do what works. It doesn't have to be a set thing. I think. Yeah.
And finding someone like yourself who can actually look at what works for you really helps.
Yeah. In 5 minutes, you're done. You'll be, actually it takes 6 minutes to do if you did a little workout at home, you might do 2 rounds. That's 6 minutes, and if the kids are there, like I'm used to teaching with kids as well, with mums, it's doable. Yeah. So, it's well worth looking at. If anyone wants help, I can put them in the right direction on that front.
Share an offer or a link in the comments of the live. That'd be great, so people can then follow that.
Yeah. I've got a free ebook at the moment too, which is 10 ways to boost wellness, calm, and immunity whilst managing weight with ease. So I can put that in there. They can download that and have a look at some ideas. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Plenty of help.
Well, thank you again for your time, and we're going to see you in the Facebook group tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And look forward to, learning.
Come up with some new stuff, won't I? No.
Yeah.
You know what? It's all the same old stuff because that works. I always have the same stuff because it works. So
that's right. It. The more we hear it, the more it comes in and the more it triggers. So, we can do something about that. Okay. Well, wonderful. Have a great day. And
thank you.
For this rain we're getting today. So.
It's looking green out here. It's, rain's a good thing. Thank you so much, Kate.
My pleasure. Oh, it's great to have you on board and in the community.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Okay, awesome. Everyone, thank you for being with us today. And if I've got any more mums who want to share their expertise, again, we have a conversation like we did today with Leanne, and then another day that in the same week we have a training. So this is your platform where you can share your brilliance, practice your brilliance. Don't just use this forum. Just get on and do a Facebook Live with a share anything any day. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.
Thanks, Kate. Bye. Bye.